them into political issues. It's the reason that I have railed so strongly against the President's health care initiative, because your health is the most valuable thing that you have. There is nothing more important than your health. And think about it. What if you had a choice of having $1 billion and being quadriplegic or paraplegic and not having it? I think most people, if they thought about it, they'd say, you know what? Forget the $1 billion. I'd rather have all of my health. I'd rather be able to do whatever I can do. And you begin to understand that when you take something like that and you put it in the hands of other people, it's an incredible risk. And the other thing that is so important, and I emphasize to every audience I speak to, is the importance of educating yourself. I know we all think we're well educated, but we can all be a lot better educated. Promise yourself you'll spend a half an hour a day reading something you don't know. Physics, history, geometry, finance. Half an hour a day for 1 year. I guarantee you, in a year's time, people who haven't seen you for a while will say, who are you? They will just be so flabbergasted by how knowledgeable you are. And knowledge is a formidable foe of falsehood and a formidable ally of truth. And it will give you the discernment to be an excellent leader. That knowledge, for instance, will show you that healthcare, the neo-Marxists have said, is key to fundamental change of a society. Government takeover of healthcare, because it allows you to make the people dependent. If you can take over their most important thing, and from there, it's not a very long road to dominating their lives completely. So that's why I've railed against it. But I haven't just railed against it, and that's the important thing. Don't just complain about something. You have to have something to replace it with. I don't have time to go through the whole replacement, but everybody will be hearing it over the next several months. I don't think there'll be very many people who are objective who will not agree that it's much easier, puts people's health care back in their own hands, costs a lot less money, and brings the whole healthcare system into the free market. Free market is what produces economy of scale, controls prices, controls quality. It's one of the major tenets of our nation, of our system, and what propelled us to the pinnacle. We don't need to change those kinds of things. The K is for knowledge, which is the thing that makes you into a more valuable person. I just talked about that. The B is for books, which is the mechanism for obtaining that knowledge. And some people say, I don't need to read books, I can learn everything I need to learn by watching DVDs and videos. That's like saying you can build your muscles by watching somebody else lift weights. It doesn't work that way. It's an active process. The second I is for in-depth learning, learning for the sake of knowledge and understanding as opposed to superficial learning. People who cram before a test sometimes do okay and 3 weeks later know nothing. I'm sure you don't know anyone like that. But we can do considerably better with these kinds of brains. And the last letter, G, is for God. We live in a society that is trying to push out God. And this is a Judeo-Christian nation, regardless of what anybody tries to tell you. And we have Judeo-Christian principles. And I just find it fascinating that people think that we can replace those principles with government principles and do better. And I think those people who tell us that we can't talk about God in public, we can't manifest our faith in our lives, don't know very much about our nation. They don't know that our founding document, the Declaration of Independence, talks about certain inalienable rights given to us by our Creator, aka God, or that the Pledge of Allegiance to that flag says we are one nation under God. Many courtrooms on the wall it says, "In God we trust." Every coin in your pocket, every bill in your wallet says, "In God we trust." So if it's in our founding documents, it's in our pledge, it's in our courts, and it's on our money, but we're not supposed to talk about it. What in the world is that? In medicine, it's called schizophrenia. And doesn't that explain a lot of what goes on in our society today? And we need to just make it clear that it's okay to live by godly principles of loving your fellow man, of caring about your neighbor, of developing your God-given talents to the utmost so that you become valuable to the people around you, of having values and principles that govern your life. And if we do that, not only will we remain a pinnacle nation, but we will truly have one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Carson. Words of wisdom. Thank you so very much. Now what our seniors, parents, relatives, friends, and alumni, faculty, and staff have been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. Before we begin, I'd like to point out that one of our leadership attributes at Gerstell is express appreciation. Would the senior class please rise and express your appreciation by giving your applause to everyone in the audience that has helped you achieve this milestone. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. As we announce the names of the graduates, family members, please feel free to come forward and take a photograph or video of your graduate as they receive the diploma. Those of you that would like to have a professional photograph taken, at the end of the ceremony, to my right is the Carolyn B. Smith Hall, and in that building is the Wilson Room, and there'll be a professional photographer there to take photographs if you so desire. Miss Molly Paulash, please come forward. She will read the names of the graduates, and Mr. Carson, Dr. Carson, please accompany me off stage.
Clark III. Megan Nicole Freiner. Doris Abigail Funk.
Well, when it's Maddie's turn, go back.
She's next.
Oh, did they ask you? All right, well then go ahead. I just don't want you to be up there the whole time.
Madeline Stone Gardner. Michelle Leanne Goldstein.
And then, well then you can stay up there twice.
Casey Lee Gruber.
Can you get up from there?
Benjamin Patrick Higgins. Joshua Denton Lawyer.
Where do they go after they sit there?
Austin Michael Lyons.
I don't have to shoot the cherry.
Yeah, no, Lord knows.
Brett Stewart McLaughlin. Elena Lynn Mary.
She wants to look at it.
Richard Montgomery Nagel. Andrew Patrick Nevin.